Good day. You're welcome to this platform. All right. The course of discussion today is principle of economics. So our topic today is elasticity of supply. Okay, elasticity of supply. So we shall look at the definition of elasticity of supply and the types of elasticity of supply with the cause and the formulas. Now, before you can know what elasticity of supply is, you need to know what supply. What is supply? We know when we mention supply, we are referring to sellers or suppliers or producers of goods. Just the way demand refers to consumers, buyers, and customers. So this supply refers to all these people. Alright, so supply is defined as the quantity of goods and services that a producer is willing and able to offer for sale at a particular period and at a given price. So any quantity of goods and services that the producer is willing and able to offer for sale at a particular period and at a given price is what we call supply. We have laws of supply. Price is an incentive to supply. Alright, so the laws of supply, law of supply. The law of supply states that the higher the price, the higher the quantity supplied. The other one says the lower the price, the lower the quantity supplied, which means price and quantity supplied are directly or positively related, which means if price goes up, producers will supply more. If price falls, producers also will supply less. And we have factors that influence or determine supply. One of them is price of the commodity, as you can see. The other one is price of other commodity. Alright, cost of production or cost of inputs influence cost of goods demanded. Level of technology used by the producer influence quantity of goods demanded. Alright, suppliers' expectation or objective of the firm determines quantity of goods supplied. Okay. We have government policies affect quantity of goods supplied. Alright, we have what we call population, it influences quantity of goods supplied, and weather condition influence quantity of goods supplied. So these are the factors that influence supply. Alright, with this summary, we should be able to flow with elasticity of supply. Now, let's face the topic of discussion today, elasticity of supply. What is elasticity of supply? Elasticity of supply measures the degree of responsiveness of supply to change in price of a commodity. So how will price of a commodity influence quantity of goods supply? That's what elasticity of supply. So it measures the degree of responsiveness of supply to a change in price of a commodity. So another name for elasticity of supply is what we call price elasticity of supply, because it is influenced by price of the commodity only. So how do we calculate it? My price elasticity of supply is percentage change in quantity supplied over percentage change in price. So please, you can use this for theory. When you are solving any theoretical question, you can use this. So if you are solving any OBJ question, you can use this: change in quantity supply over change in price times first price over first quantity. So this for OBJ questions. Okay, this will save time and give you the answer. Alright, this is for theoretical questions. Okay, so we have types of supply, types of price elasticity of supply. Number one is fairly elastic supply. Number one, fairly elastic supply. Fairly elastic supply occurs when a change in price leads to a greater change in quantity supplied. If there's a change in price and brings about a greater change in quantity supplied, it is what? Fairly elastic supply. And it occurs when the answer gotten is greater than 1. So how will you know you have a fairly elastic supply? when the answer gotten from a question solved is greater than 1, it is a fairly elastic supply. Look at example. If 2% increase in price led to a 20% increase in quantity supplied, in this case, the higher the price, the higher the quantity supplied. Law of supply. So if a 2% increase in price led to a greater change, so in this case, it is what? A fairly elastic supply. Look at it graphically. Like at this, like at that. Yes, my quantity supply, yes, 0, yes, my price. Let's say I have price 1. At price 1, I have quantity 1. If my price should increase to price 2, then my quantity increase in a greater measure to quantity 2. Can you see that? So what I have here is my supply, which is greater than 1. In this case, a change in price led to a greater change. It is a fairly elastic or elastic supply. Number 2, we have fairly inelastic supply. Fairly inelastic supply. And fairly inelastic supply occurs when a change in price leads to a lesser change in quantity supply. How will you know it's fairly inelastic supply? If you solve and the answer is lesser than 1. When you solve it without approximation to the nearest whole number, if you solve and the answer gotten is lesser than 1, it is what? A fairly inelastic supply. And what I was saying, if a 10% increase in price leads to a 4% increase in quantity supply, change in price, there's an increase in price, there's increase in quantity supply, law of supply, but the change in price leads to a lesser change in quantity supply. So we have something like this, like that. Yes, quantity supply, yes, 0, yes, my price, I have price 1, I have quantity 1. If my price increase to price 2, then my quantity increase in a lower measure. So look at it. Yes, my supply, which is lesser than 1. This is what? A fairly inelastic. This is what? A fairly elastic. Or this is inelastic, while this is elastic. Number 3, we have a unitary elastic supply. And unitary elastic supply is when a change in price of a commodity leads to an equal change in quantity supply. So when the changes in price and quantity are of the same proportion, it is what? A unitary elastic. So when you solve and the answer gotten is 1, that is it. So look at it. If 25% increase in price leads to 25% increase in quantity supply, look at the percentage change in price, set as percentage change in quantity supply. So it is set with a unitary elastic supply. Look at it. Like at this, like at that. I have quantity supply, I have 0, I have price. Okay? With this, I have my price 1, I have price 1, I have quantity 1. If my price increase to price 2, law of supply, they have the price, they have the quantity 2. My supply is 1 because the percentage of change in price is as percentage of change in quantity, just like this. So number next is my perfectly elastic supply. Perfectly elastic supply is when different quantities of a commodity is supplied at a particular price. That's what we call perfectly elastic supply. Alright, here it is what? The coefficient is infinite. So when you solve a question and the answer gotten is infinite, it is said to be perfectly elastic supply. This is how the curve goes. Like at this, like at that. Yes, quantity supplied. Yes, 0. Yes, my price. At price 2, different quantities are supplied, which makes it why? Look at, I have different quantities. I have change in quantity. I can put the change quantity here, but my price is constant. Change in price is 0. So if I divide it by 0, I'm going to have infinite. That's how we came about that. Now let's look at the next one, which is a perfectly inelastic supply. Perfectly inelastic supply. Perfectly inelastic supply occurs when a change in when a particular unit of a commodity is supplied at different price. When a particular unit of a commodity is supplied at different price. So its coefficient is what? 0. When you solve answer 0, it means it's a perfectly inelastic supply. And it can also be called what? A zero elastic supply. Just like this one can also be called infinitely elastic supply. How does the curve goes? It goes like this, like that. Yes, my quantity supply, yes, 0. Yes, my price. So, yes, my quantity, just one particular quantity cube. My supply is equal to 0. At this quantity, different prices are charged. So, you can see that I have percentage change in quantity is 0. Percentage change price is whatever value. So, if you divide 0 by number, the answer will be 0. So these are the types of price elasticity of supply. So you can use the principle of the elasticity of demand to attempt all this. So I'm going to bring a question forward so we solve it under elasticity of supply. Thank you. Yes, we have a question on elasticity of supply. So let's see how it's being done. Here's the example. If an increase in price of a commodity from 400 to 800 led to an increase in quantity supply from 300 to 500 units, determine the price elasticity of demand. The first thing you need to do, what is the change in price? The price, we have 400 to 800. So which means this is my initial price. This is the new. Which means this is the old price, this is the new price. For my quantity supply, there was a change from 300 to 500 units, which means this is my initial quantity or old quantity, but this is the new. So to calculate my price elasticity of supply, it is percentage change in quantity supplied over percentage change in price. How do I get my percentage change in price? It's my old price minus, let's start with percentage change in quantity first. Percentage change in quantity supply is my old quantity minus my new quantity over old quantity times 100 over 1. So here, my old quantity is 300, my new quantity is 500. So my percentage change in quantity supply will be 300 minus 500 over old 300 times 100 over 1. So here I have minus 200 over 300 times 100 over 1. 0 cancels 0, 0 cancels 0. So 2 in 200. So I have 200 divided by 3. So what I have is 66.67%. Please don't forget that just like price elasticity of demand, there's an absolute sign. We don't consider negative value. So this negative value is gone. So it's gone. We don't consider it. So I need to find my percentage change in price. My percentage change in price is what? My old price minus my new price over old price times 100 over 1. My new old price is 400 minus 800 over 400 times 100 over 1. So what do I have? Minus 400 over 400 times 100 over 1. So 400 cancel 400. I have 100%. We throw the minus away, don't forget. So my price elasticity of supply is percentage change in quantity supply over percentage change in price. So my percentage change in quantity supply is 66.67 over 100. So what do I have? So I have 0.67. So this is my answer. So I can interpret and say the commodity as an inelastic or as a fairly inelastic supply. And why? Because the price elasticity of supply is lesser than 1. And what's the value? 0.67. So now, what if I'm giving this in OBJ? My OBJ method means that my price elasticity of supply will be change in QS over change in price times first price over first quantity. Don't forget, my change in quantity is 300 minus 500. So I have 300 minus 500. Don't forget there's an absolute sign over. Then my change in price is 400 naira minus 800 naira times my first price 400 over first quantity 300. So here I have minus 200 over minus 400 times 400 over 300. Minus can even cancel minus. So 0 cancel 0. 0 cancel 0. So 4 cancel 4. So we have 2 divided by 3. So let's do our math. 2 divided by 3. So 2 divided by 3. We have 0.67. You can see it's same thing as 0.67. So use this for OBJ to save time and use this for theory. So with this, you should have no question, no problem in elasticity of supply. Thank you.